This is a first look at the new Higgsfield Supercomputer platform that just literally released. And I am excited for this because it does something that I think a lot of people find annoying, which is you're skipping the setup part of having an AI agent. AI agents are powerful. They're really cool. They can really do a lot. But for most people, it just takes too much energy and too much effort to get started, especially if you are a founder, a marketer, or someone who's generally non-technical. It can be a bit of a hurdle to get all of these random pieces connected together. So Higgsfield has released Supercomputer, and just at a first glance, I already like the user interface. Let's look at what's available here. One, you have a classic model picker. You can pick between the different major providers. There's no open source stuff here available. And you do have to upgrade for Opus 4.7. I'm going to stick with Opus 4.6. I actually really like that model, so it makes a lot of sense to me that it's the first one selected and the primary one selected. You're going to notice here, there's a little message that says Claude, GPT, and Gemini consume credits. This is the one ding, because I wouldn't use this as a daily driver for my workflows, since I can't use my Claude subscription in here and it's just going to eat up my Higgsfield's credits. So that doesn't seem like a good thing in terms of if you wanted to use this all day for every single workflow. Down here, we have a couple of options though, right off rip, which is UGC, marketing, cinematic, and cartoons. I, to be fair, don't really do a lot of cinematic and cartoon stuff, but we're going to review a few of the chats here that I've done already just to see how this stuff works. Before we get into that, let's just look at this sidebar here. We have a search, a new task, a connectors, a files, and a memory. After using this just for a little bit, it's already started to learn like how I like to do things. Here's one memory where it says user prefers GPT image 2 for D2C Ads Generation. I didn't have to tell it to remember that. It just clocked that I like to use GPT image 2 over Nano Banana and then made that a memory. So this is really neat because Claude Code does the same thing. And it'd be annoying if I had to use another platform that didn't store memories. Now, there is a way for you to upload your own memories or add a new memory on your own. So you could export from any other chatbot and then just put the memories right in here like that. A really nice feature here is that you can connect to all the popular tools. So of course, I think this is going to be really popular is Telegram. People love to use Telegram for agents. I personally do not. I don't do a lot of agent work with Telegram, but I know this is going to be super popular. They have all of big name stuff here that most teams or freelancers or businesses use or solopreneurs use. So Notion, Gmail, your Google Sheets, Discord bot here, HubSpot's available. I think I saw Slack. Slack's right there. YouTube Analytics. And another piece here is that you can actually scrape things from the web. So there's a YouTube Analytics connection here. I thought I saw Instagram and X earlier, but I don't see that here in this connection. So anyways, this is basically all the little building blocks around having an agent. The fun fact is that this is built on top of Hermes agent. If you haven't played around with Hermes, it's one of the many third-party providers that kind of wrap around Claude Code and give you a nice agent user experience. You can set up agent teams, you can have your own skills, you can set up different workflows using these things, but the barrier has always been you got to go to GitHub, you got to download something, you got to set it up, you got to get it working. It takes a couple of days to get into the groove. So with that being said, Supercomputer is basically an easy button for just getting all this agent stuff set up. I like it from at least the direction that they're going in. Of course, it's new. There might be a couple of bugs. Not everything's going to be perfect. So let's just go in with a couple of use cases. One of the first ones I tried was like recreating a viral post. So this has been going viral lately. It's this idea of someone in the stadium, in the stands, and people have been gravitating towards this image. I'm not sure why, but it's been going crazy viral, millions and millions of views. So let's just watch this one. So here, the Celsius drink is a really cool drink. So I just got a product link for that drink and then I popped it in here. And you can see she's drinking it, she's eating a burger, it's hyper realistic. There's the scoreboard right here. Maybe there's a little bit of a blurry thing here, but that's fine. And just for a one-shot prompt, this is not bad at all. And if I post this and it goes viral, I'll take it. So these shots have been going viral all over the place. And I think it's jarring because there's a lot of sports happening right now. So people are thinking, oh, is this a highlight? And then they're clicking into it and going, oh my God, it's AI. Okay, another one was I tried to generate a scene with me. So the thumbnail of this video is actually me doing some crazy Marvel stuff. And I tried to generate a intro scene with that, but I got flagged by the IP checker. So do note, this is still going through IP checks. If your image is someone famous, or if it's someone who's well-known, or it's a well-known character, you're probably going to get blocked from doing any of those generations, which is not new. This is something that's carried over from Seedance, and it's going to happen over and over again. The next use case I tried was like a podcast. So I've been seeing a lot of brands start to market or do ads with the podcast format, where it's a fake podcast, first of all, but it's a really good way to divulge a lot of educational information to the customer, especially for supplements or health brands. That's entertaining in a way, and also lets them know what the product is about without feeling too salesy. The prompt I used was super simple. I really didn't give it much here. Again, I just wanted to one-shot things to see if it would do it well or get a feel for how supercomputer works. So what I said here is generate a 1-minute Andrew Huberman style podcast about my product, and I put the product link. I said use GPT Image 2 and Seedance. And this is the power, I think, of supercomputer here. It has all these underlying skills. So you can see here it's saying using skill podcast flow. And usually what you need to do is write your own skills, first of all, and then know how to coordinate the different APIs and the different tools underneath the hood. Now, I don't see a way to add skills here. Hopefully this is something they add later on, but that'd be pretty cool if I could add my own skills. But what's happening is that a skill's getting called, and then the skill's getting invoked, and then it's basically using Claude underneath the hood to orchestrate things between APIs as needed. So it goes through here. It asked me a couple questions back just to clarify what you want. It asked me who should the two hosts be. I said a neuroscientist and a curious host. And what should the studio setting be? I just said a modern minimalist lab studio. Nothing crazy. And it's using more skills here. It used the podcast flow skill, the image generation skill. And I want to go to this part here where it gave me a couple of assets to start. So it didn't one-shot the entire podcast. It gave me a few assets. And if you've ever done this workflow, that's pretty much how it goes. You have to generate the starting images for the characters, generate the scene, do a bit of a storyboard. So here's a storyboard of how it would go. And then you would generate each video segment on its own. So if you were going to do this via the regular Higgsfield UI, you would have to generate all these separately. So it's pain to go through all of this. If you're doing this through Claude Code, of course, it can do this as well. There's not much of a difference, but it's really nice to get this UI that goes through this process. Now, the final podcast, not so great. So let's give that a watch.
Most people are taking nootics completely wrong. They stack 5 different compounds with no synergy.
So what should they actually look for?
You need compounds that talk to each other at the receptor level. Lion's mane mushroom stimulates nerve growth feature. It literally helps your brain build new neural pathways. And when you pair that with Bacaga monogena, the signal gets stronger. Bacaga modulates serotonin and dopamine simultaneously.
Okay, but what about the other 2 ingredients?
Alpha GCP crosses the blood-brain barrier fast. It boosts acetylcasin, your primary learning neurotransmitter. And hyperedoxine A prevents the breakdown of that acetylcasin. So together, they create a sustained cholinergic state.
So this isn't just about being more productive. It's about how you show up.
Exactly. When your prefrontal cortex has the fuel it needs, you make better decisions.
You're more present with your family, more creative at work. It changes the quality of your whole day.
That's what I love about MindFlex. 4 clinically proven compounds all working in concert. No jitters, no crash, just clean, sustained mental clarity.
Like upgrading your brain's operating system.
Exactly. Your brain already has the hardware. MindFlex gives it the right fuel. Most people are taking...
And so you can see here, this is not a good podcast by any means. There's a couple of weird shots that happen. There's a zoom in here on his chest. Then there's this like panning cinematic shots. And then at some point he just starts talking really fast. So not great. But again, I didn't really give it much and not a lot of feedback and not a lot of direction. And for this type of workflow, this is something that would take a non-technical, inexperienced person who doesn't know how all the different models, all the different tools, and how to connect these things. It would take them a long time to do. This took me about a minute. So I'm assuming with more feedback and also looking at the individual sections that got generated, I could generate something a lot better than this. And then also probably just include the product. It didn't include the product, offer it, but I think that's where things are going. You don't want to put the product in people's faces too much. Overall, I still think this is really cool that it can give me a final asset. And so I didn't have to do any setup. All I had to do was come over here to this agent and give it a quick prompt, and I got back a nice little storyboard. So the next piece, I think, where it shines, and I think it's one of the better use cases for this tool, is basically creating in bulk assets that you know are going to have a high success rate or a high hit rate. And in this use case, I just wanted to generate 5 D2C ads for my product. Again, I just used the link to the PDP page, and I said to use GPT image 2. And it went through, it picked up a skill that was image generation, which makes a lot of sense. It read the web page, and then it just went through and used image generation over and over again to generate all of the ads that I would run. And these don't look bad at all. These are really good. These are really decent. I could probably run this. I wouldn't make any changes. And so for a lot of agencies right now, or at least in the past, this used to be a service that cost thousands of dollars to create these static image ads, and then to get a person to edit them and a graphic designer, it would take an entire team. Now, I'm not saying to replace your creative team overnight with something like this. Of course, there's still stuff around like brand guidelines and making sure it adheres to the messaging, but this can really speed up the process, especially if you're connecting to your downstream systems like a Google Doc that has all those guidelines, a Notion that has all those guidelines, Google Drive that has all that information. And then if you think about it from the perspective of a Google Sheets, you could now have a entire list of 100 of these that you want to produce, and then just let Higgsfield go to work on this. Before, there was a lot of setup work you had to do between Claude, Higgsfield, and then the platform itself to get all that stuff working. Now it's just a couple of clicks. To be fair, I still think doing this in something like a Claude Code directly, one, you're going to save a ton on credits, and two, there is the Claude Code harness that's going to always be better than any third-party harness. But with that aside, I think this is a really neat workflow, and a lot of people, this is kind of just what they want. They just want static ads to run every week, and they want 100 variations of it. And so this is going to be a knock it out the park use case for everybody. Another thing I wanted to do was a product listing, but that didn't work. When products here, I meant products that were in my Higgsfield account. So oddly enough, you cannot access your characters and your products that are uploaded into Marketing Studio or the Soul ID area. I'm assuming this is a gap that's going to be fixed soon, or if maybe it was an oversight, but I would want to just use the products that I uploaded into Marketing Studio and just use them here. But it seems like you need to add in products separately here. And so you can see here that it asked me to add a product instead of being able to select stuff from my library, which is odd. So if I ask it to yes, it'll just ask you for a link or the need to upload a URL. You know what's cool though? That little animation, so I'll take it. And if you ping it for something and you go away or go into a different chat, a really nice feature here is that it has a little need to reply button or a little badge notification that pops up. So we're just gonna call this one a dud, forget about that, and move on to the next thing. The final piece that I wanna go over here is actually the URL to ad strategy that is, I think, the #1 use case for most people, which is just take my product page and create a bunch of ad variations from it or create a bunch of ads. So this is me just putting in the link to the product, and it calls this skill called UGC Flow. And from there, it calls a couple of other skills, which is the image generation skill, another one, and it generates that first image. So this is a very common pattern. I think Higgsfield is just watching what people are doing on X and then creating scale files out of it. And so the basic pattern here is generate the image first, then generate the videos. And it basically creates a random character with green hair, which I think is supposed to be eye-catching, and a pattern interrupt. And it goes through, does an IP check. You see it's running the terminal actually for itself. So there's an actual computer being run here. Does a couple more IP checks, and then generates a series of assets for me. So it pulled out the actual product image. It created the character for me. And this is the character here. And then we get some shots of the character. And then the actual video. So let's watch that.
And then they're also available in mango, and they don't have any of that weird aftertaste, and they're plant-based. I'm obsessed, so try it.
And right now it might be lost on you actually how insane and crazy this is, because you've just seen so many realistic AI videos by this point. But this is truly a workflow that maybe 6 months ago was actually really complicated for people to do. I would see agencies charge thousands of dollars to create one of these, or maybe just a few of them. And so now it's much easier to get to this point. The next level is going to be around strategy, messaging, making sure you can do this at scale, not just one at a time, making it cost effective. So we crossed the threshold now, really realistic video, and it's really easy to create. This allows you to go up a level a bit and start to get into the strategy bits, especially when you connect it with your Notion docs and your Google Docs. So this was just a quick overview of a supercomputer from Higgsfield. I don't think I will be switching over to this immediately, just because it takes a lot of credits to generate stuff, and I already have a lot of these workflows set up. But if you are someone who is brand new, you don't want to go through the setup of a Claude Code, you don't want to go through the setup of a Codex or an agent like Hermes or OpenClaw, and literally you have one or two workflows that you want to do, I don't see an issue with kind of throwing some cash at this, although you're paying a premium. But I don't see an issue throwing some cash at this and just getting the workflow done. And then over time, you can move over to a more complicated system, or a system that you can customize more for your specific needs. But to get started, this is amazing, and I think it's going to do wonders for people who are less tech savvy and maybe scared of the terminal. This is going to be great for those type of folks, and teams as well who just want to generate a lot of content but don't want to deal with the technical bits of having to maintain the agent. So this is going to be super helpful for them as well. All right, I'll keep you posted on this. As things change, I'm sure they're going to fix a couple of these bugs in the next couple of weeks, but this is supercomputer, and I actually really like it. That's my final take.